Hey guys, Robert and Frank here, and today I'll be walking you through how to take the headliner out of a 2007 Toyota Matrix. So let's get started.
First step is you gotta take the seat, you gotta slide it forward. And the next step, you go over here and you flip the seat up. The next step is you flip all these seats down. Now you can work in here.
Does that one go down or no?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
To take the headliner off, you have to take pretty much everything that's in the ceiling of the car off. So that includes the handles up here, that includes the lights in the middle of the car. You have one in the middle of this car and in the back, and there's another one all the way in the front. You have to take the visors off, you have to take these pillars off, the seat belts have to come off, these panels have to come off, these hooks over here have to come off so you can take the panel off.
Be careful with the hooks too, they break sometimes.
You have to take the front mirror off too, the rear mirror, and also all the gaskets on the doors and the sunroof. To take the gaskets off, you pretty much just pull them. You don't have to take them all the way off, you can just take them like this and then leave them. That should be good enough to get the headliner out when you get to that step. Another reason you don't want to take these out all the way is it's really hard to align them once you have to put them back in. Yeah, so these are tools you'll need here. Some of them you can use a weaker hand tool version, so like, you don't need to use a screwdriver instead of a drill, or a socket wrench instead of an impact wrench. But the main things you're going to need is trim tools and just assorted screwdrivers and impact heads.
Specifically, a Torx Starhead T15 for the rear mirror, since that does have to come out, and yeah, miscellaneous Phillips.
Yeah.
Step one is pull these guys out.
Easy to forget about, and they'll hold it up and stop you. There's little plastic clips. These are the only plastic clips though that go directly into the headliner. Everything else is held on by different pieces of the car, like the lights and the visors and stuff. To pop open the plastic pieces on the seatbelt, trim tool or flathead would work. And then there is a hex bolt in there. I'll have to take that off next. So it is a 14mm for the seatbelt here. So to take the handles off, you might be able to pull them with your hand. You might need a flathead, depending on how many times you've taken this apart. I would not use the fork tool, I would use the flat piece here. Pop it open, and there's another hex bolt in there, and you have one on each side. So you just pop this one off too. It's a 10mm. We can't use this though because it's too big. Spider crab, spider.
Also 10 mils are all of these little hooks on the side. I'm just gonna go ahead and take all those off real quick.
So you can be lazy and just use a bunch of adapters. That works too. Go on to this side. Another quick tip, so you don't lose the parts, you can close these doors with the screw in them. That way the screws are there saved for later. We're gonna take the lights out now. Kind of just pry those off too with the pry tool. The flathead, but it might damage it. This panel piece comes off first, then this one's over here after it. You can shake it a little bit, it comes out, and you get a connector. You can pull the connector up by pressing the button up here. There you go. You can always put a screwdriver or something in it. If you have a sunroof, you might have to take the sunroof trim off. In this case, you just pull it, and this one you can pull completely off. You're gonna have to get the headliner off. And then next you'll have to take off the sunroof control panel. On a regular XR model, you might just have the light. I'm not quite sure. Oh, yeah, you got it. So now there's another screw in here you gotta get off. It's right in the top right above the light bulb, right over there. And that's just a Phillips head.
Before you do this, make sure you open the sunroof. It makes it a little bit easier to
remove the tape. There's tape on top of the wiring harnesses that are attached to the headliner. If you don't have a sunroof, I don't know how you're gonna get it off. You could try going through the side doors maybe and kind of sneaking your hand in there, but this is certainly a lot easier just popping your head through the sunroof. That screw comes off.
Falls right down into the dash, never to be found again. That's what happened last time.
Yep. And then this is also held in a few snaps, which are kind of weak at this point because I've done this too many times. This also has a connector here. Just pull that clip and pull it, gently pull it out, and then you're good over here. All right, so now you have to take the visors off. To do that, you just spin this one, and there's two screws up here. So there's Phillips heads. All right, so you have the visor. You also have the little clip that goes to the visor. These you just twist them and pull down. Twist them 90 degrees, and they just come right out.
Handle number 3 is complete.
It's the same process with the seat belts. You can close the flap and leave the screw in there.
There's a little like metal ring that fell out, and we were wondering why the seatbelt was suddenly not turning anymore. That has to be in there, so that's like critically important.
Watch your finger, I'm gonna slide it forward. Oh, there we go.
No, that stayed right. This one also has a bearing clip in it. That one seems to hold in place a lot better.
There seems to be a piece on this belt that holds the clip in. Check if yours has it. Just taking this visor off, same thing, just two Phillips heads on the left And then that little piece will come out with a 90-degree twist. Here's a 90-degree twist.
Are you doing it?
Nice.
Next up, we got a Torx T15 here.
Take out the rear view mirror. Just go ahead, right over here in the back.
Take that right out, screws out.
And then the mirror slides up. So next, to the last step, it looks like you gotta take all the pillars off. So these have clips, you just pull them off, pop them. Same thing on this side.
Do we normally just leave it dangling here like this?
Yep.
Yeah,
You can just pretty much leave them dangling. It's probably a two-person job though, once you get the headliner off, to pull it out the back.
Last one, these are much easier on this car.
These are come off completely.
Oh, these do? Okay,
Yeah.
so these bottom pieces have to come out too then?
Yep. To remove the top panel, you pull the bottom panel. You could remove it completely. That might be a little bit more work. But you can just pull them out a little bit just to leave enough room over here.
Does this door need to be open? It's a little bit easier, I think, with the door open.
I think you have to have the door open, and you got to pull this away like we discussed earlier. And now this panel comes off, and they're kind of like held together. So you can lift it up, and it's off.
Didn't look this hard in the video.
I know there's gonna be like all attached.
Yeah, just remember, this might be a little bit more difficult. The only reason this works on this car so well is they're all broken.
All right.
I'm gonna put you guys out of the car, and then I don't think there's really anything else we have to do in here. So you're just gonna kind of see us sliding it out the back.
So one way to take this out is have one person sit in here and use their head to hold up the headliner while your other friend guides out the headliner.
We've gone ahead and separated everything out into nice piles. We've got a lot of the pieces just kind of all laid out so we can easily put it back together. Of course, the big main piece, which is the actual headliner. We're gonna go ahead and show you how to reassemble this now.
Headliner in first.
Yep. All right, so we gotta get these wires aligned properly. So what you do while you're doing this is you have to kind of feed the wires up top. There's one wire that has to come all the way back for your rear lights. So that back one comes all the way back. All right, so
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
So basically on top here, go ahead and put a little piece of tape on it that holds it in place. We'll plug in the light in that in a minute. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and put in these two retainer clips just to hold it in place so that it doesn't keep falling on us.
Rear, then we'll work in the front.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and put these clips back in just to hold the front up, just to make it a little bit easier. So this is held in by one little pop clip that just goes straight in, basically to your right. So just go ahead and line that up. Push it in, just like that. Go ahead and impact these back in. There's 4 of these. Just do them all the same way. There's a little clip on the back here that has to slide over this little piece and down. So you got to lift it up and then kind of.
Yeah, I think that bottom one's in, the top one.
You can tell when it's in because if you pull straight out, it won't come out anymore. Once that's in, then the top piece just kind of pops right in.
Yep. Love that.
Go ahead and put your handles back on.
So make sure that you put the one with the little lip here in the back seat to hold the bags. I put mine in the front by accident and it was very annoying.
Go ahead and just hit these guys back in place. So if you laid this flat on the floor, you should have been able to figure out which way it was supposed to go back in here. Just kind of hit it all the way around the outside, just like the door gaskets, and you'll be good to go. All right, so that's a wrap. Hopefully this helped you, and hopefully your roof doesn't leak as bad as this.
Yeah.
So, yep, see you guys in the next one.